this on my end, and then I will have the recording uploaded and sent to you at some point in the next couple of days, assuming my internet speed gets situated here, just so you have something to go back and look over and check again. Sound good?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. And then if the whole streaming through Discord thing, we'll figure that one out. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. Okay, so what got you interested in coaching?
So I started playing Overwatch on console like shortly after it came out.
Yeah.
And then like the past couple of years, I've been really trying to get to higher ranks. So in Overwatch 1, I reached, I think it was like, it'd be the equivalent of Masters 2, is like 3,800.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always had like this long-term goal of trying to reach top 500 at some point. So whenever Overwatch 2 came out, I got to GM2, I think it was. And of course, this is with rank inflation. So basically, it's for me to know that I actually deserve to be GM as a support player. But at least the ones I'm doing today is for my Lifeweaver, because I really like his utility. I really love his kit.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What rank are you at right now?
So on my main support account is Masters 1, because I haven't played it in the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
The account I'm using right now is Diamond 4.
Okay.
And that's my Lifeweaver 1 trick account.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him today, but I think there'll be some things that we can draw regardless of the situation here. Okay. So how long you been playing again? Remind me.
So just shortly after the start of Overwatch 1.
Okay. Okay. So you've been playing for quite a while, and then what about Lifeweaver has appealed to you so much?
I really like his utility. Like in general, I play Ana and Zen. It's like a mechanical thing, but I really like the utility that both Ana and Zen bring with Discord and Sleep and Anti.
Yeah.
I think there's like a lot there that's not just purely mechanical skill. It's a lot of like game sense, positioning, map knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Absolutely. Okay, well let's keep looking through here. So looking through your forum, Overwatch is your first-person shooter, and the only game that I play consistently, so I'd like to be good at it. All right. Long term, I'd like to be on top 500 boards. It's been a long goal of mine to improve and learn. It used to be that I wanted to play for Owl, but I don't know if that's even possible anymore. Yeah, we'll see. Short term, I like to get back into GM and stay there. I like to feel like I deserve a GM and not just a fluke of a messed up ranking system. Okay, so you were Grandmaster.
Yeah, I did hit GM 3 or 2. It was like season 3 or 4 of Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
GM, and I played those couple seasons there, and it was like relatively fine. But of course, like reading Twitter and all this stuff of like rank inflation, I want to make sure that that's not just a fluke, that I'm in GM because of rank inflation.
Got it.
You know, I deserve it.
Got it. And you're looking for Lifeweaver to be that high if possible.
Yeah. So like I think my main account, like with Ana and Zen, I pretty consistently can play at a Masters level. Probably like I've played against GMs, and I'd like Lifeweaver to be at that level. And I think he's the perfect opportunity to work on map knowledge, positioning, and stuff like that, because he's less mechanically intensive.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so what do you feel is holding back from improving? At the forum, you say my mechanics could be better. I do actually think that is more so understanding what's going to happen in a match, but not being able to execute a play or a strategy that's going to make a difference. Can you elaborate on that?
So I think it comes down to like, I can read what's happening in the match. I know the cooldowns that I need to save, but sometimes executing on those cooldowns properly or like quickly enough, of course, like my reflexes can sometimes hinder me with actually getting the playoffs. So if I know that Ryan has Shatter, you know, trying to make sure I save Petal for it and pool, but if I'm getting Dove, you know, defending off the dive, and then also trying to make sure that this high cooldown utility gets used the way it needs to.
Right. It's weird because Lifeweaver is one of those things where it's like your value is in the moments, you know, where like if you miss that opportunity, your hero is the weakest support in the game, not even close, right? But if you hit that life grip, if you hit that Petal at that right moment, I mean, you and I both know, like that's fight changing, right? So it's about being prepared for those moments. It's a lot of pressure, right? Because it's not like, oh, I missed the life grip. That's okay, guys. I will get value elsewhere. No, you won't. Now that might change after today, but I don't think it's going to change significantly. So it's about being able to be ready, prepared, and like you said, reacting in those moments of clutch, like as quickly as you possibly can. Now, you talked about reaction speed. One of the things that comes to improve your reaction speed is to know that something's going to happen before it's happening, so you're waiting for it. I'm sure that that's something that you've been practicing on your like, okay, he has shatter, I'm waiting for it, right? Or they have graph, I'm ready to petal it, kind of a thing. Yes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right. The challenge though is going to be, like you were saying, like, oh, I also have to worry about being dove. It's like a sense of prioritization. Which one of those dangers or threats gets more of your attention so that you actually react to it faster. That's the key thing. And then also, as you practice juggling multiple threats at the same time, you're going to get better at being able to juggle multiple threats at the same time. Because the problem is like you were saying, it's like, if I have to worry about shatter, but there's also a Genji chasing me, how do I deal with that? How do I multitask? Well, the goal is that you get so good at dealing with Genji's chasing after you that you can kind of do it without fully giving it full attention. You kind of see what I'm saying? So like you kind of know how to like play around that so that you can give more attention to the Earth Shatter, or vice versa, that you're really, really good at reacting to Earth Shatter. And so you can put a little bit more of your conscious thought on the Genji. The thing is that like to multitask, you have to have extreme proficiency at each individual task. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're gonna walk and talk, you can't be a 1-year-old still learning how to walk, right? You have to know to walk out. Like, it's so easy, you don't even think about it. That so many tasks as Lifeweaver have to be like that. Even things like you're charging your heal, like that's so unique compared to other supports. So that needs to be something that doesn't take like any thought or any conscious effort at all. Okay, so how is your training? 2 hours per day after work. Okay, so how does that training look like in terms of like ranked, quick play, warm up? Do you warm up? Anything like that?
Usually I'll queue competitive first, and then I'll go into death match and try to work on like because he's not the best duelist, but
no,
he needs to be able to at least fend off divers. Because he does have Petal to help him out. But, getting a pick here, getting a pick there. He's actually pretty good at dueling snipers at long range. Like I found with
that initial spread is huge.
Yeah, you know, but at least on like Havana, there was a Widow I played against, and they can't one-shot me from that like. True.
Yeah.
So I'll try to like pepper them out and just use that as sort of a utility, not with the intent to actually kill them, but to close off angles.
Sure. And I meant the initial lack of spread is huge, because like, you know, that those first shots are like unbelievably accurate. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Let's keep going here. So you say a little bit of deathmatch, then you hop into ranked.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my computer did something.
No, you're fine.
A little bit of deathmatch. I hop into ranked and just try to like mostly focus on his utility. Like his healing is good, but the utility is the only way that he has to carry. Like his healing can easily be out damaged. It can definitely help in a duel, so pocketing specific DPS helps, but that utility, it's like I've been practicing making sure it's perfect, making sure my positioning is good, so that I can pedal and pull those high cooldowns. Sure.
Okay, makes sense. I think that the deathmatch warm-up is probably pretty good. Now percentage-wise, the Lifeweaver only account versus your other Masters, other support account, what is that ratio looking like?
What do you mean, like playtime?
Yeah.
In the past 2 seasons, I haven't played a ton on my like main support account because I've been trying to practice on Lifeweaver, because I'd like to add him to my like proficient heroes that I can play.
I see what you're saying.
In Masters game.
I see what you're saying. So you're OTPing Lifeweaver because you're not very good at him, or not, I wouldn't say you're not very good at him, but he's not as good as you are at the other supports, and Slash, he's a little bit weaker right now. So you want to get proficient enough to where you can insert him into your hero pool without being like, oh, I'm Masters 1. Oh, well, no, I'm Masters 5, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because I have like a 12% win rate on Lifeweaver. Yeah, I got that. Okay, I had to do that with Ana way back in the day when I was picking up Ana. This was like back in 2019. I was like a Zen OTB kind of, and I was like, I want to pick up Ana. I dropped like 500 SR. And so I had to like play like 80% Ana to like get it to like where it's like a 50-50 win rate with my Zen. So yeah, that's kind of how I had to do things. Okay. 6 hours of sleep is definitely on the lower end. Sure, you're pretty busy and all that, but you know, I will say any 6.5, 6 hours and 15 minutes. Any little bit of sleep there, it's good. It's not just good for competitive, it's good for everything else. And my job is to be the mother in the voice calls, so I have to say it. Okay.
Understandable.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I know I definitely don't get enough sleep.
That's okay. That's okay. You're not the only person. I don't really have any other questions from your forum. Do you have any questions, mentality, training schedule, any other details that maybe we didn't touch on before we get into gameplay?
I think the only thing that I was thinking about was sort of because Lifeweaver is still kind of new to my hero. I mean, it's been 2 seasons, but I still have a hard time focusing on like enacting plays while waiting to make something else happen. So you have that mentality where you're waiting for Petal to like Petal the Earth Shatter,
yeah,
but you're kind of stuck while you're not doing that.
I see what you're saying. That's the Lifeweaver problem, right? It's like, where is my impact if they don't do this, right? And I think that's where we can take a look at like where your heal priority is. Like maybe we can increase your heal priority value so that like you're putting more pressure by pocketing the right DPS that are able to kind of force that play to happen. We can also look at like, are there any offensive pressure opportunities that you're passing up on that could kind of force the play? Like the key thing is like you're asking is like, how do I do pressure when these big pop off clutch pulls, Petals aren't presenting themselves? And I think we'll take a look at but that is Lifeweaver's thing, right? It's that neutral passive disadvantage that he's kind of at, but we'll see if we can come up with anything. Okay, so we got 2 ways that we can do this. We can so first off, do you have Overwatch pulled up right now?
The game? No, I do not.
Okay. Do the VODs that you sent me, were they recent games?
Yeah, within the last probably month.
Okay, so they're a little bit, so they've been a little bit while back. Okay, so but they're not like recent like in the last day or so.
Let me see. No, because I tried to record some extra ones yesterday, but for whatever reason, the recording software made the videos look very choppy.
Got it. I guess my suggestion is we could while Overwatch, because the patch hasn't hit yet, we can do it through the replay viewer if you'd like, or we can just go through YouTube. The replay viewer is slightly better if you have any good recent games. If you don't, we can just use the YouTube VODs. It's up to you.
Give me 1 second. Let me see.
Sure, no problem.
All the recordings got very choppy and kind of, I don't know if it's because I messed around with some settings.
I mean, it's fine. We can use these recordings, but if you have any good recent games in game, we can do that through the replay viewer too. Because the patch, like I said, we got like an hour, I think.
I do have a couple on here, defeats, and I have a couple victories if you'd like to look.
Are they useful games? Do you remember them?
I don't really remember them.
Okay, but if they're useful games, we can use them if you like. It might be a little bit easier. Let's start with that. So if you have Overwatch pulled up, on the bottom left of your Discord, there'll be like where the voice connected. It might say Stream Overwatch 2. Do you see that on the left of your Discord? Bottom left.
Yeah, I think so.
Click that and see if that works. And if you don't see it, let me know, because my stream quality would be terrible, but I can show you where it would be.
Yeah, I see it. It's locked at 720p and 30 frames.
That's right? Yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah, the bit rate is the more important thing. And if you see, this looks fine. Okay, let's pick any one of the ones there, and we should be good to go. And then if things get kind of messed up, then we can always cross that road. Blizzard roll dice.
Do you want the replay code?
No, it would be better if you could stream it because the bitrate will be very snowy. Sadly, that's where the upload speed tends to come into play. Okay, so let me tell you how to do things though, because this is gonna be nice for you. All right, so pause it really quick in the bottom left there. There you go. Okay, so press escape, just go to your general options. Yep, and then go to left on the replay tab, on the very left there, top left. Yeah, right there, yeah. Go to decrease playback speed, click on the numpad subtract, and go scroll down with your mouse wheel, and then scroll up with your mouse wheel, and then replay back, do Z or Z, and then forward is X, and then go to spectate tab on the very left. Yeah, there you go. And then on near the top is spectate toggle pause, control P. You could set that to spacebar instead. Toggle overlay, I like doing instead of at the very, very top, instead of control I, do R, reload as in. Right next to the toggle pause, sorry. The inside the thing. Spectate toggle pause and then just one step above that. Right there, yeah. Do R. R is great. Yeah, and then escape out. Just escape. And then go B, options at the bottom right there. And these are the ones that sadly won't save over. You'll have to redo these, but there's only 2 that we need to do. Actually, there's only 1 we really need to do. Scroll down to the bottom. And then you see where it says 20, the little click and drag thing, the time skip interval. Set that to like 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. That's fine. And that's good. And that's it. So now press F9, I think. If you have that on your keyboard. If you don't, no worries.
I have F9 on my other keyboard, but it's not doing anything.
So that's fine. Click in the right in that little people thing, right to the left of the free cam, and then just select your guy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. So then spacebar, and then press N as in Nancy, and then press spacebar, and then you're good to go. Yeah. Then X, and then X again. And we're good to go. All right. See, you're good. This is going to be great. You're going to learn all about the Lifeweaver. All right, so let's pause for a quick second here. So the first thing you need to be looking at, like with your comp, is what when you're playing this hero? Like, what's the first thing you're looking at?
So what I'm looking at is who's going to need pull, and who's going to need healing resources. So like I can depend on Kiriko to sort of pocket the Rhine, so I'm looking to pocket the Sombra because they're going to be a little bit out of place.
Sure. Anything on an angle, like your character has like really solid healing on people that are like hypermobile, right? So now here's the question though: do you think Sombra's going to need pull?
I would think normally no.
Okay.
They have TP, they have stealth, they have a little bit extra mobility.
Right. And it's always thinking about opportunity costs, where if you pull a Sombra, that means you cannot pull your soldier, you cannot pull your Reinhardt. So even if the Sombra, you're like, oh, maybe I can save for Translocator and not have to worry. Well, yes, but your Rein might need it sooner rather than later. You see, your whole mindset is like you want people to try to do things that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do because you have life grip, right? You want your Rein to look to go a little bit further and soldiers take a little bit deeper flanks because of your life grip. So for you, you're like, I'm not necessarily going to heal my Rein depending on what my Kiriko does, but I am going to try to pull him, right? I am going to try to pull him. I'm not necessarily going to have to pull my soldier or heal my soldier, but I might need to life grip him in case he needs it. So I guess it's like looking from there, you kind of have an idea of where your life grip healing priorities are before you even leave the spawn door. The second step is obviously incorporating what the enemy team is. So you look at what they're doing, you look at what they're seeing. What are the priorities for you? What kind of things that you need to be thinking about?
So seeing Genji sort of playing out of his effective range, guiding him. The Widow, which I didn't realize when I started, was pocketed. So like at this range, you can still kind of like poke her out. But with the pocket, you can't really do that as well. I'm looking for Petals against the Reinhardt Shatter for sure.
Sure.
And then possibly, I don't want to say pulling from window, but I'm really looking at
that's too minutia, too detailed, right? So you got to take like the low-hanging fruit. The first thing you say is like we got to worry about like avoiding the Genji. I think Petal selfishly for Genji is probably like the first thing that stands out to me, right? If he gets too near me, I'm worried about Genji. Now, who else might Genji go for?
Genji, he might go for the Kiriko. At least that's sort of common, but also Soldier probably has about an even duel
Sure.
with the Genji.
Sure. So that's another potential pull right there. So basically, you're thinking my Rhine might go aggressive, might need pull. My Soldier might get dove, might need pull. I might need Petal versus Genji, and I might need Petal versus something like that, the Reinhardt Shatter, right? So that, even just without even reading what's actually happened, you kind of already have a couple of ideas of what you're going to be looking for. So now what we've done, you've talked about reaction speed. You've accelerated your reaction speed for whatever happens in the next 60 seconds because you already have an idea of what things you need to be looking for. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's go see. Now, obviously, we hope we don't get our head blown off by Widow. That's the first thing. But as soon as that's no longer a threat, where's that Genji? Where's that Rhine? What's my Rhine doing? We kind of know what we're looking for here. All right, let's take a look here. Quick question for you. Do you know the micro with her healing, or his healing, excuse me? If I remember correctly, sometimes it's not always good to charge full heal, no?
Yeah, I usually spam about 50, and then I'll charge to full if like my Rhine is holding shield.
Sure. That's what I've heard as well. A little bit of a weird detail here. Go back a little bit here. Go back a little bit. So this is a little bit of a niche strategy, but this is something that's going to be very relevant. So slow down with your mouse wheel. Scroll down to slow down the playback speed. Right, that's fine right there. Okay, play this out. Tell me what could have been done better with this pull. It's actually go ahead.
I probably could have I probably could have waited for
Yes.
him to take more damage.
Yes.
And get more ult charge.
Yes, that's crucial. You're thinking about it from an ult charge perspective, which I respect. I'm thinking about it even more than that. For example, if that Rhine starts to take a beating, why? What's going to be damaging that Reinhardt? Press right click and move your camera over to where he was. Right over there. What's over there? Rhine, BAP,
yeah.
Mercy, right? So what could that Rhine have done with an extra second?
He probably could have applied more pressure on
Sure, could have.
Baptiste. He got immortal, and he
Sure.
probably even could have killed the Baptiste with a charge.
Sure. Even if there's not necessarily, and think about it from this perspective as well. Maybe that Rhine commits another fire strike. Maybe that Reinhardt commits his charge. Maybe that Bap uses his shift. Maybe that Mercy is stuck here for an extra second instead of pocketing the Widow on the left. Do you see what's going on the left side? She's demanding, the pocket is demanded here for a little bit longer. So my point is that you don't want to wait so long that they die, but you don't want to pull so early that they then don't get the pressure out, don't force more cooldowns. Because if you look at it here, you pulled your Reinhardt so early that maybe now they rush forward and kill you. But if you let your Reinhardt stay a little bit longer, they commit a few more cooldowns on him, he does a little bit more pressure, then you pull. The enemy team won't really be in a position to pursue, and your Reinhardt's going to get more value out of that pressure that for example, your Sombra or Kiriko or whatever can capitalize off of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little bit esoteric. It's like this, like a lot of little details, and even from the ult charge that you were saying too. But do try to greed that a little bit longer if you can. It's about finding that balance. You don't want to be like, oh no, he got pinned, I waited too long. But you need to try and greed that a little bit longer.
Well, I think what my thinking is like, we're down 3. Like the other half of our team is missing.
Yes.
I don't want to risk further staggering our.
I agree with that. But I still think it could have greeded it longer. Because even if you think about it, I don't want to stagger further, him swinging a little bit more will put a little bit more pressure that will increase the chances that you guys get out of here safely. Letting him swing one more time, waiting like another second and a half, it means it's less likely that they're going to be able to push forward on top of you guys and pursue the stagger. I know it's like a kind of a weird way of looking at it, but think about it that way. Even in the lost fight, still try to greed it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like any bit of time spent putting pressure on the enemy team to either get ult charge or resources is good. As
long as you can guarantee his safety, and I think you could have guaranteed an extra second or so. Okay. Besides that, obviously the poll was reasonable. Let's keep going. To your POV, which you might have to do the thing in the bottom. Press N. And then at the bottom there, click it over. There you go. All right. Let's keep going. Nice. And then you could scroll, go back to your POV and then use the scroll wheel to, yeah, there you go. And then press N again if you want to hide. Good use of cover to kind of charge, then peek only as long as you need to. Little detail there, press Z or Z. So you need to be utilizing your spread more, so scroll down a little bit and tell me what micro detail you messed up here. You do it better there, but actually your previous clip, you're doing it actually perfectly here. Go back. What's the difference between these two clips? This one you're doing it well, the other one you didn't do well. What was the difference? You can go back to normal speed if you want.
I think maybe, like, I can probably stop shooting to get the spread to go back to normal.
Yes, exactly. You're like in such a rush to do more damage there that you're ironically guaranteeing that you're not going to do damage here. So you can scroll wheel back to normal speed here. But like you literally just dump your entire clip here. The spread is like, look at that spread. That is brutal. But then here, stop. You see that? That was smart. So you're aware of it. It's just a habit that maybe you need to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's pause right here. This is actually a really, really important moment. This is a big mistake. Go press Z for me. Remember, you're walking out of spawn here. So you're thinking Life Grip, Reinhardt, or Soldier if they walk too far forward. But remember, the other asset you need to be worried about is your Petal, right? So what should you be using Petal for right here?
Well, I think I threw Petal to the high ground so that we can have access to it.
Great idea. Love it. But stop. What's the first priority for Petal for you versus the enemy comp?
It's going to be the Genji.
The Genji. So stop right there. Where's the Genji?
Yeah, he's on the left. And that's why, like, I heard him and that's why I looked.
Right. So my point is this. At this point in this frame in time right now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you knew where Genji was exactly.
No, I did not.
Okay, so then don't Petal. So your priority needs to be, where is that Genji? If that Genji's where like the BAP is or where the Widow is, then you need to Petal your Reinhardt or Soldier to high ground. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't know where Genji is, don't Petal or look for him so that you can know what to do with Petal. Because the problem here, now play it. The problem here is you're like, oh, I'm gonna Petal, Petal the Soldier high ground. Love it, great idea. Like, that's awesome. But then now you're like, crap, right? You're like, crap. If that Genji goes to me, I'm completely naked. You see that? That's kind of like those little tiny details there. And then like here, for example, you would love to be able to Petal your Rhine to high, but pause. What's your priority?
Making sure that I don't get killed by the Genji.
Right. So here's the question: do you know where he is? Is he a threat right now? Did you hear the hack on him?
No, I did not hear the hack on him, but I did hear his like footsteps and jumping on that left there.
Okay.
And I seen our Sombra come back up. So I assumed she was dueling him at some point. So
there's like two ways of looking at this right now. I could either say that you should have Petaled your Reinhardt onto high ground if you knew the Genji was like busy getting blown up, right, by your Sombra, right? Because he's busy. You're okay to use your Petal as you want. The other thing is if you weren't sure, what would you do with your Petal if you weren't sure? If you think the Genji might be a threat here, how would you use your Petal?
If I think Genji was a threat, I think I'd probably pre-place my Petal.
I think so too.
That I get my cooldown back a little bit faster.
I'm wondering versus Genji too, is it better to pre-Petal? Because if he dashes on top of you, then you Petal, do you not, he just comes up with you, no? So like, it needs to be like, go ahead.
If he dashes right on top of you, you both go up. And then even sometimes you have to bait the dash first so that you can Petal safely, because he can just dash right up to the Petal anyways. Right,
true. So I'm thinking here either pre-Petal, so that you, as you see him coming, you can Petal, and then he dashes to you, you drop, you dash, and then Petal again, maybe? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it depends on, like, if he uses dash, then I can dash away, Petal real quick, and then get up into the air. So he doesn't have dash, he'd have to climb walls to get back up to me, and my dash by that time is probably back up on cooldown. Right. But if I do pre-place a Petal, then I generally try to place it dash distance away so I can dash straight to it.
That's smart. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a question that you're going to be very equipped to answer. You're going to know the micro of it, and you're going to be able to figure it out. But it's like the thought process behind like, okay, priority 1 is no longer a threat, move on to priority 2 with your cooldowns, and that needs to be constant. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's keep watching here. This is problematic. A little bit of the dance here. Good. Now you see it there, no? That's a pretty tough pull, you know. Press.
Putting the Rhine there.
Yeah, he just didn't need it, you know. Was it the charge? And you just reacted a little bit slow because he had missed it, or what? Press Z.
I think it was probably the charge. I thought he was gonna get charged with the Rhine and go out of sight.
Ah, yeah, he had already missed. That's unfortunate. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, if he was charged there, then that was definitely the play. I'm gonna be real. I think you're egoing that too much.
Yeah, especially at that range.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just not really a priority for you. You either need to get close to her or you need to get far away from her, one or the other, right? That one was really neither. That one doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, let's keep going. Again, it's one of those situations where I think like the idea of doing offensive pressure is reasonable, but again, there's two ways of looking at it, right? Either one, you do your burst spray with the tight spread, or you find a way to get closer and then do more damage, right?
Okay.
It's like, I'm not going to hate on the offensive pressure there necessarily, although I think some people would. I think it's okay, it's fine. But you need to actually, if you're going to do that, do it properly, right? Do it properly. Now, this is a bit of a disaster.
That's understandable.
Because this guy's dead.
Yeah, I think I react too slowly to actually pull him. Like, it starts to go off, but he gets killed anyways.
Press Z. I want to know how much time that you had to react, because it doesn't look like you had a lot of time. Go back a little bit. So then the question is just, why did you not have a lot of time to react? Maybe the audio cue of the charge? Maybe the audio cue of the charge, you know? Like, you could hear the charge before you could see the charge, right?
Yeah, so what happened in the actual game, like, it doesn't show it here, but I did hit life grip, but it didn't go off in time. Like, I hit it right here, and so he still got killed by it. So
we're talking about like 0.1 of a second away from actually being a successful life grip.
Yeah, because of course I heard the charge, but I'm trying not to pull him if somebody's not actually charged with the run.
Right. It kind of lines up with the Petal thing though, where like, I want you to be anticipating charge. I want you to be anticipating Genji going for you. There are a lot of things that you need to anticipate, but at any given point in time, there's generally only one or two. There's a lot over the course of the game, but at any given time, there's only one or two. Like, for example, right now, you don't care about Genji. You're not worried about Genji at all. In fact, the only thing you need to be thinking about is the Reinhardt pin. That's it. That's the only priority for you. Yeah, and your positioning. So that's why it's so important that you make this play here, is because, let's think about it this way. When you're driving on an interstate, right, and you're merging into a lane, correct? What are your priorities when you're merging onto the interstate?
Make sure that the lane is clear, that I'm going at a safe speed.
Correct. You know, you're not necessarily, that's pretty much it, right? But then, like, let's say you're on a residential road, you're driving through a neighborhood, there's a bunch of kids playing around. Now, what's your priority?
To make sure that I'm, like, not defensive driving, but I'm slowing down, I'm being more aware of, like, the kids in the area.
Right, exactly. Like, it's like a different type of driving. Now, that a driver has to have a lot of skills, but usually, unless you're doing like city driving, which is really crazy, there's not a ton of things you have to be thinking about at any given point in time. It's about knowing which ones to prioritize depending on what the threat is. That's exactly what you're doing with Lifeweaver. Right now, there's no Genji, so Petal, not that important. But Life Grip, very important. And earlier, it was vice versa. Like, the Ryans were just trading on each other, both for full HP. I don't think you're going to need to be pulling anybody at that point in time, but you better darn well be looking for Petal value, either the Genji diving you or your soldier taking high ground. Sometimes it's going to be both, sometimes it's not. So for you right here, it's like missing this pull, even by like a 0.1 of a second, even if you actually hit it, that it just can't happen, right? And I don't want to blame reaction speed necessarily. I think it needs to be a prediction.
Well, it's also like that's the majority of how Lifeweaver is going to get value. It's not from his healing; it's from getting those predictions right and executing it in time.
Exactly. It's expecting it to happen, and then going, "Ha! See, I knew it." Okay, let's keep playing. I think this fight is probably lost. Good damage here, definitely the best thing you can be doing. Huge. Petal is fine. Get yourself away from that Genji. Great pull.
Yeah,
It's good.
It's rough here.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. It's funny because you did such a good job there towards the end, but at that point it was honestly too late to really matter, and that's the unfortunate thing. Okay, let's press X here. Okay, and now you're thinking what? Pause. You're walking out the spawn door here. What, or I guess the choke here. What are your priorities? What are you thinking about?
So there's about a minute left, so I'm looking for ultimates that I need to deny value.
Okay.
Or at least kind of sort of kite. I'm thinking about getting my ult charge up because it's not that far off, and he charges ult fairly quickly.
Sure. So what are those ults that you got to worry about here?
So I haven't seen Ryan use his Shatter in a while, so definitely Shatter. Of course, Blade.
Of course. So what's the player on those?
So play for Shatter is going to be Petal Life Grip combo, depending on how many people get Shattered, if they do get Shattered.
Right.
And then for Genji, I try to see who's going to target first and prevent the first dash reset by pedaling myself up and pulling his target.
Perfect. Now I'm gonna one up you on the Genji blade. Don't try and see who he's going for first. Predict who he's gonna go for first. Who do you think?
In this comp, it's probably either me or Soldier.
Exactly. So what does that mean for you? You're walking out of this choke right here. How do you play around that?
Well, I don't currently see the Genji, so I know he's somewhere around this corner.
Great.
Figure out what angle he's coming from. Pre-place a Petal. Probably sort of like, it seems counterintuitive, but in the middle of the, maybe not in the middle of the choke, but a place that's not around walls that you can climb up easily.
Nice, nice. Would you want to be with your Soldier or split from your Soldier?
I usually try to play split from, like, not on an off angle healing, but a little bit of space so that when I pull, that person is out of, like, they're back.
Exactly.
Out of danger.
Exactly. So there you go. Let's see what we do. Play it up. Genji's far back. We can take that information and be like, all right, we can keep walking. We're okay for now. Good. Probably not necessary, to be honest with you. I think he was probably okay. But see, I'm really scared right now. Ooh, nice tracking. There's that deathmatch coming in right there. Yeah. Now, why did you pull there? Did you feel that the Rhine was on top of the Soldier? I might have missed exactly what you saw.
So I believe I pull here because there's a lot of targets in that area. So hitting a heal on a small Soldier while there's a Rhine
I see what you're saying.
Hard.
I see what you're saying.
But also he's line of sighted, like he's in his ultimate, but he doesn't have sight on any targets except for maybe the Genji, and he's sort of line of sighting him there as well.
Okay.
So trying to pull him into an area where he can get more value from
Sure.
his ult.
Sure. I want to remind you though that go back one more skip. The danger out of this, so play now. Because remember what this allows the Soldier to do, or the Genji to do now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you pull,
I don't have any cooldowns.
Right. So if you pull Soldier here, what should you do with your positioning immediately?
If I pull Soldier, I probably back up a little bit, or
Correct.
Go towards the Mega. So
Correct. Try to split. Try to split. You kind of see what I'm saying? Don't let the Genji get 2-for-1 value here. So if you do pull somebody to you before they've committed cooldowns, and by the way, this would apply to like if they had a Winston that was trying to dive you, or a Ball, or a Doomfist, immediately split so that they have to pick and choose and they don't get 2-for-1. That allows you to then, if they dive your Soldier, you can just focus on healing him and not worry about having to like keep yourself alive, right? Or if he dives you, then you just keep yourself alive without having to worry about healing your Soldier. Genji's still a threat here. We cannot forget about that blade. Obviously, he's over there, so you're like, hey, I can Petal that right now. I'm okay. Do you need Petal right now necessarily?
No, not right now.
Sure.
What my thought process here was to get the Soldier on top of turret, so he has a better time looking at like the squishies in the back line. 'Cause right now he's just shooting at Rhine.
Yep.
And that doesn't help.
Smart. And also look at your positioning. If that soldier gets dove on turret, and he will, what then will you do?
Yeah, I can just easily pull him.
Easily pull him to safety. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Yeah, love to see it. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That's okay. It's not your fault.
I mean, at least like what I was thinking in the moment there is that if I used my dash to get an angle on the soldier when he line of sighted me, I could have pulled them.
Maybe.
But of course, like it's sort of.
Yeah, he ran pretty far. He ran pretty far. I mean, to be honest, that's where you look at it is like, I played that one well. I set myself up for success. The team doesn't quite play around it. Happens, go next. But I think you should be very pleased with how that fight started up. Now, what are you thinking about with Tree here? Because obviously, as soon as you get that ultimate, it's not really... I mean, maybe that changes with today's patch, but it's not exactly like gonna hard counter every ultimate in the game. So maybe Visor, maybe helps deal with Shatter. Maybe can you use it proactively, or is that kind of a feed?
I think you can use it proactively if you're like... If I can get my team to take an aggressive position, then I can tree the aggressive position so that they're a little bit more sustainable.
Yeah.
I think in this moment, I'm probably thinking of like either blocking Shatter with it or using it to give them the burst of healing when Shatter does come through.
Sure. I think it's definitely one of those things where you do need, like you said, your team to take an aggressive position if you want to use it aggressively, because it's very easy to just walk away from it. So I think using it reactively is probably very reasonable, but then also if your team can take an aggressive position, it's fine to use it. So let's just see what happens. And who knows, like I said, after today with that overhealth or whatever they're saying, I mean, it might be pretty good at dealing with Shatters.
Honestly, I'd just prefer if they gave it a cleanse. Like I think his kit needs a cleanse to be a little bit more viable.
That's true. Every time I pull somebody and they stay purpled, it annoys me. Nice. I love the discipline with the grip as well, right? Reasonable grip.
I think I get killed by Genji here.
Right, pause. Because you're losing a little... Okay, because you're losing a little bit of focus here. Because you know at some point this Genji's going to come for you, right? So what do you think you should do? Let's keep playing this right here. Because I know you're like, oh, crazy. Gotta get value, right? Where's that Genji? Where's that guy? What should you do?
I should be getting behind my... Like, I should rotate quicker to get either behind my Rhine or Petal to jump over this little thing here.
Honest question here. Why don't you just pedal at your feet right now? Would that be value?
It would probably help me get a little bit better.
Oh, rip. That's okay. That's okay. Well, we have our VODs, so give me just a second. We'll pull up the VODs. And so you can actually end stream. And then you let me know, you just grab whatever YouTube VOD you want to do. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was, we got a replay viewer settings all set up. We were able to get through a decent chunk of the VOD and everything. Okay, so here's what you do.
So I've got 3 here. I've got Lifeweaver on Havana, Esperanza, or New Queen Street.
Sure, I'm not for either one. You let me know.
Let's go Esperanza.
Okay, so this is where you're going to need to go. Here, let me actually show you how I do it here. So jump in my stream really fast here. It's going to be crappy quality, but... So like in your Discord, right? Let me know when you're in stream. There's just gonna be like, oh, our call. It's gonna be this button right here. And then you're gonna be able to click on that. And then you're gonna either select screen capture or window capture. If you do window capture, just select the YouTube window. But screen capture will work as well. The only problem with the screen capture is it won't pick up the YouTube video audio. So window capture will probably be better if you can find the YouTube window.
Oh, okay, okay. I gotta get a second monitor for this.
Yeah, listen, I don't even have a second monitor. People make fun of me from all the time. Looks like we're good to go. Yeah, all set. Let's do this. Okay, so you can skip a little bit further in. Oh, you fat fingered it. Go back. you click the next thing instead of skip. That's happened to me before. Okay. All right. Let's pause here. Let's go back just a little bit when we see comp. You got Moira. Yeah, right there. There's like it's like a brief frame. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is great because you're like, well, what are you thinking about with life grip here?
So life grip, I think in this sort of comp is either to life grip the ball if he's going for like a hyper aggressive play and he gets CC'd.
Yes.
Or maybe the Moira, but like everybody on my team has a lot of mobility, so
okay.
life grip is a little bit worse.
You have the most challenging. I'm interrupting you, but you have the most challenging thing possible here because you have to life grip dependent on cooldown status. That's the challenge. Moira doesn't have fade. Tracer doesn't have recall. Maybe ball gets CC'd like you were saying. You have to be able to track those things. So that's a huge responsibility.
I think we swap off of this comp fairly quickly, but that's something that I definitely don't have in my mind at all times. It's like,
right.
Does my co-support have their their movement ability to
right.
DPS, tank, etc.
Right, and so, some heroes are more cooldown reliant and some aren't. For example, if this is a Cassidy, right, and the Cassidy gets dove, you're probably like, yeah, I'm gonna pull the guy, right? It's not that complicated. But a Tracer, wait a second, does she have recall or not? So what I would do is like I was saying earlier, when you go into compositions like these, on rollout from spawn, pick one player on your team that you're gonna track their cooldown. Just one. Tracer, Moira, Ball, Sombra probably not as much, but one of those heroes, even a Genji with dash or deflect, right? Orisa with or without fortify. Track that cooldown like your life depends on it, because it does, and then use your life grip depending on the status of the cooldown and whether being pressured or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's like people ask me like how to get better ult tracking. You know, it's always where any of these big skills where you have to track a lot of factors at once. Start with one, get really good at it, and then move on to the next one. Okay, what about your Petal?
So Petal, at least for Esperanza, there's a lot of high ground that can be accessed really quickly if for using Petal to either put my DPS up there or myself. I like to use Petal on those bridges so that I'm much more out of the way and still have a good line of sight of healing.
Love it. So you're speaking broadly. Now speak in application with the composition that you're running right now. What about Petal?
So Petal for this composition would mainly be used for me because none of the DPS are gonna they're not gonna get as much value from Petal because they're very like mobility in your face. 100%. 100%. So it's just gonna be used greedy for myself.
Perfect. So the great thing about everything we just talked about is you can make these reads before you even walk out the spawn doors. So you already know I'm going to track one person's cooldown, whether that's my Ball or Tracer or whatever, and I'm going to be losing Petal for myself. Great. Now let's go. You kind of see what I'm saying? Prepare. So that when you go out, you're good to go. Okay. And then obviously you will need to see what they're running as quickly as you can. Nice. Pharmacy. Winston. Okay, so what are you thinking so far?
So the major thing, Lifeweaver does pretty bad into flyers, especially like Echo Pharah.
Yeah.
Winston is going to be hard. I'll have to save like Petal to evade the dive, but I might have used Petal to get away from the Pharah or like line of sight. Yeah.
It's kind of funny, you're the weak point here because you got Pharmacy Winston, and I look at Sombra, Tracer, Ball, Moira. That's a really good comp versus the Pharmacy Winston. So your entire priority here is just going to be, can I not die? Can I not die? Am I going to be able to use my Petal well? Am I going to be able to position well? Am I going to be able to avoid that pharmacy spam? So, okay, let's take a look here. Now, obviously,
they have a chunk as well.
Right. Well, that's good news for you at least. Maybe trap. Can you pull trap? You can pull trap, right?
Yeah, you can pull trap. You can also petal it. It'll break if it goes high enough.
Interesting. Okay. Probably unnecessary. Was he CC'd?
Yeah, I don't need to pull there.
Yeah, definitely important because you know somebody's going to need pull at some point here. Good greed with a pull there, not needing to use it, being really cautious. Reaper's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't really like this position that I'm in, but I feel like if I play over here,
it's too close.
Yeah.
So then come up with another option. Maybe at least something to try, you know? What do you think? Are there any other things to try?
I think probably by that little tower by the mega.
Sure.
Would be a little bit better.
Sure.
Even this room over here by the petal I just placed down.
Right. You're figuring these things out on the fly, yeah. I definitely feel like Lifeweaver is like one of those heroes that like the positioning is super unintuitive because it's not just about like your sideline, it's about like keeping sidelines under like webs onto as many members of your team as you can without feeding. So I think like thinking about this kind of stuff on the fly is definitely something worth putting time into. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, obviously here you might as well have just taken that position sooner. Get a little bit more vision, right? Get a little bit of a better sightline.
Yeah.
I can't believe that your guy went Reaper into that.
The only thing is she's being pocketed, so...
Good discipline with the grip and all that. Obviously haven't needed to use it yet, so...
Is the quality shit on your screen?
It's totally fine.
1080p.
Works for me. The bar is set pretty low when it comes to my quality, so you're good to go. I'll pause here. Okay, this is perfect pause, actually. Where should you be, first off?
I think I could probably take a little bit of a better angle on top of this, I don't know what to call that.
Plateau, board, yeah, whatever.
Over
Why?
on the right.
What would that do?
It would give me a little bit better vision, especially on our Echo, because she doesn't have a mercy pocket. So making sure that, like, our Moira is not going to be able to heal them very well. So giving our Echo those resources.
That's a crucial way of looking at it. Yes.
Our Reaper is pretty deep, and I don't have pull. But if I did have pull, I couldn't use it here.
Yeah. See, this is important because you have to understand that like one of your biggest strengths is your ability to heal mobile people from range, right? Like there aren't a lot of heroes that can do that. Briggs and a little bit of Ana, but like Lifeweaver is so good at that. And like that, you need that to kill the enemy team. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to do anything. So that's the thing. It's like, are you in a good position to enable your squishies right now? No. And not only about life drip, like you were saying, but also just the healing in of itself. Okay. Now, what about this pull right here? Go back. Let's press go back for just a few seconds. What do you think?
So I think I pull here because I was afraid our Moira was going to get comboed. So
oh, I see what you're saying.
She takes the damage. So I feel like she's going to get comboed and then we're going to be down a support. So
I see what you're saying.
So that she doesn't get the pancake coming in.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Good treat. Good pedal. This guy's telling you about comp adjustments while he's playing Reaper into Pharmacy. It's always how it goes.
I can't really say much because like one-tricking Weaver, you don't really try to make...
Right, but at least you're not critiquing other people's compositional choices.
Yeah.
That's the thing that always kills me. Okay. Ooh, there's a rat to your right.
Yes. I pull her because she's trapped there.
Right, but again,
she does have DM though.
See, that's the thing is even if she didn't, even if like she didn't have a lot of DM there, right? Remember, it's a tank. You have time to react. Remember, that goes back to the very first point we made in Blizzard World. Let them take some heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let them take some of that heat and then regenerate afterwards. But like, don't life grip so early that you're questioning whether it was needed at all, and whether, I mean, let them beat on the tank a little bit, right? As long as you've got that get out of jail free card when you need it, you're good to go. Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think of like a good analogy here. It's like if you had a get out of jail free card and you got like a parking ticket and you just used it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Maybe like, maybe you got tax fraud next few years. You never know. So like, save it for when you really need it. Okay. Pre-pedal is cool. Damage is cool as well. Everyone's kind of keeping themselves nice and healthy. Heal on the tank is good. Heal on Echo's better, but Echo doesn't need it now. Now she needs it, and you're there. Perfect. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a pretty reasonable fight from you. I think, maybe could have used that dash a little bit later to avoid the landing damage and maybe just juke him a little bit more. But I think for our purposes, it's all right,
Yeah, that makes sense.
It just kills me that you guys swapped comp off of like probably the most optimal composition to play into them, minus your pick. But that's how it goes. Okay. All right. Let's keep looking at our positioning here. Yep. Now let's pause here because I think this is worth relooking at. What do you think about positioning here?
I want to play on top of that bridge. I don't know why I didn't dash across. Maybe it was because I got
the junk was a little close. Maybe. Yeah.
It was like too close. There was a lot of spam coming up there.
Right.
So that puts me in a bad position, especially if I don't have Petal or dash.
Right. So my question is maybe Petal and wait to see if that position opens up and then take it. And if he starts to press you from it, then you drop. I don't think he earned you dropping here immediately. You kind of see what I'm saying?
I just need to be a little bit more patient with my cooldown.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's keep watching. Because obviously right here, this is a bit of a disaster. Nice. Unnecessary, frankly.
Yeah.
Don't just use it to use it, For example, you could use it right now to launch yourself into better sight lines, to get better position, pre-pedal, anything.
Yeah, definitely. I think like wasting my cooldowns or like rushing them is a big issue in my gameplay, and that also extends to when I play in Masters with like Ana. I generally tend to just spam my cooldowns if I have them.
Pause. Do you need Petal for anything else?
At this moment, no.
Okay. So then what should your next Petal be? Given their composition. Remember, it's the same thing as the Genji and the Reinhardt Shatter and Pen that we're doing when Blizzard World, right? It's about thinking ahead, right? So you Petal there just in case anybody wants high ground. Love it. But your next Petal,
my next Petal needs to be saved for the Winston.
Yes, exactly. See, that's the thing, is you talk about rushing cooldowns, just kind of using them. That is a problem that will be exacerbated if you're not thinking ahead of time what the cooldown actually needs to be used for. Right? That's how you prevent that problem from happening. Don't just say, I need to stop wasting cooldowns. Well, what do you instead? What I do instead is I think ahead of time, what is this cooldown used for in this given circumstance?
Using cooldowns with the intention.
Exactly. Get in the habit of thinking about it whenever there's downtime, leading up to a fight, between fights, whatever. Okay.
So I think that's why this Petal here is pretty safe.
I agree. I think this is a good Petal.
Like fighting in there, yeah.
It feels like you're thinking right now, right? You're thinking like, okay, maybe somebody will use this Petal. I don't need it right now. Love to see it. Fight will start soon, but guess what? You've got your Petal now. So if this guy jumps you, and right now you're thinking, okay, are you gonna pull me? Gonna pull me? That's fine. As long as you guys are actively brawling there, I think it's probably reasonable. That is unnecessary, right?
Yeah, that pool could have been saved for a tire save.
Correct. Did you know that he had Wraith, or did you not?
I didn't know. I wasn't tracking his cooldown.
Okay, and that's the problem, right? Now, if he didn't have Wraith, that pull was reasonable given the Rip Tire, yes?
Yeah.
I pause because we gotta talk about the death too. But you didn't know if he had Wraith. Now remember, you don't need to track all of the cooldowns. But given your composition, I probably think Wraith is probably the most important one to track.
Okay, yeah.
Why? Look at your comp.
He's going to be the one that's taking a lot of damage aside from our
Can you track defense matrix, or do you need to track defense matrix like you would other cooldowns?
I don't think I need to track defense matrix.
What about Echo?
That much. No, Echo has a lot farther range than Reaper, so Reaper's gonna have the pull because he has to be in front of in their face. Echo's a little bit longer range.
Sure. What about Ana?
Definitely could save it for Ana, especially because it helps her reposition to.
But was Ana in a position to be threatened that fight? She was on robot, remember?
I don't think she was in a position to be threatened. I could have saved the pool if the tire went for her, but like luckily she sniped the tire.
Right.
If she didn't, my cooldown would have been something that turned that fight.
Right. So you see what I'm saying there? Like that was a situation where you didn't know that Reaper was really the only cooldown that you needed to track, and you pulled him without knowing the status of his Wraith. That could be a very, very bad thing, because if he has Wraith, he needs to stay. You pulled him out of position, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just, oh, I didn't need to use that. You actively did something negative if he had Wraith. I don't know if he had Wraith or not. It's kind of irrelevant. If you didn't know he didn't have Wraith, that's the problem. Okay, let's go back. I want to look at your death. Maybe it was just Falcon Mercy kills you. Nothing really could do. To be honest, I was not paying enough attention. Just use your arrow keys, honestly. Yeah, there you go. So Riptire, we pull. The snipe. You just were a little bit late on the Petal and the dash. Not the end of the world. Okay. I think your positioning was okay. Just needed to Petal and dash. And maybe, honestly, like Petal and dash moving towards your other support. You kited, I think, to hide. Yeah, I think you kited away from the Riptire and then ended up kind of isolating yourself and they got punished. Not the end of the world. Okay.
We started finding a rhythm. Let's go.
Where should you be?
I should be on the high ground over here on the right.
All right, extend your web. Okay.
I tried to give our Ana access to the high ground, but she dropped off immediately.
Yeah, I gotcha. That's fine. That's fine. Good. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's okay. That's okay. It's a good pull. Maybe you guys kite this out.
Yeah, I think we do actually.
Yeah, you do a good job here. I think you still have pull as well. Really nice discipline. Really nice discipline on the pull here. Positioning, where should you be?
High ground.
Yeah, look at you, look at you. See, you're thinking. You're in your flow state here. Oh, look at that. Nice. Don't have LOS in your Reaper. That's fine.
I was late on the heal there.
That's okay. Where should you be? Pause. You see the problem, right?
Yeah, I'm a little bit too close to the fight.
And why is that? Why is that bad? Because not only are you too close, you press the left arrow key. You are stacked. Why is that bad?
Against the Junkrat, like that's very bad.
Yeah.
But also, Kiriko doesn't have a hard time hitting a Lifeweaver hitbox
Sure.
from that range.
Here's a question as well regarding your cooldowns. Where's your life grip distance?
Life grip is 30 meters.
Right. So if you life grip your Ana here, what's gonna happen?
She's still gonna get hit by spam.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter, right? She's not gonna go anywhere. So where should you be instead?
I should either be on these like stairs over here to the right, or up on that bridge.
Sure. Exactly. Just a little bit more. There's not. I mean, obviously this choke is kind of brutal. It's like not a whole lot of other places you could be, but at least a little bit better. Okay, let's keep going. Because this is a disaster. If your Diva or Ana or even your Reaper gets in trouble, you're not really in a good position to pull anybody.
My Ana here.
Oh. Pfft.
But I don't know, like, I think in my thought process at the time was, I don't know if she has cover anywhere.
Here's a question. Here's a question. If you had been better positioned initially, would you have been in a better position to respond to that Diva bomb?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. If I was up here on the high ground, I could have pedaled and pulled her up, negating the Diva bomb.
Right. You could have had more time to react without having to panic. So that's the problem. Not this here. You made it way too hard on yourself for no reason. Okay, let's keep going. Nice. Did he have Wraith?
I don't know.
You know, again, it's another one of those situations where if he has Wraith, he's going to Wraith, stand still, you're going to heal him, and then he's going to kill whatever he's fighting. You know? Whereas now, whatever he was shooting, okay, maybe it was the D.Va, gets out. You know?
Yeah.
It's tough. Probably the most difficult skill there is with Lifeweaver is tracking a cooldown or cooldowns. Again, every time you pull him, he does less damage. If he has a Wraith. Every time.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, you're crazy. It's insanity.
I generally try to, if I tree, I try to take that like first couple seconds to get some damage in. Or
Sure, I get you. Maybe not to the Junkrat.
Is not.
Yeah. I love the tree though. The tree was great. Your ultimates overall have been quite good, I will say. Feels like they're not like really kiteable. Like fights are already starting, and then you're just like putting the tree right in the middle of the fight, you know? And so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, no way. No way, you guys actually lost to that. That's wait, you're popping off.
Fucking reload.
Oh no. Oh, you're so good. That's good. That was good, mate. Nice job. Good use of offensive pressure there. I might have like given my Ana a little heal there first, but that was nice. Love the positioning.
Yep. Yeah. Just chill. Don't engage with too many. Yeah. Back out.
I pull my Ana there.
Yeah.
Have mobility.
But that's it, right? You know?
Break the wall.
Well, nice calm. I just said nice calm. I go.
Oh. Probably would not have pulled that just because you guys are looking to push around the corner. If you guys kind of see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, that's what I figured when I was watching it back. Like,
Yeah.
in the moment, getting our Ana on the high ground
Seems good.
high value. But
Yeah.
we're gonna be pushing this anyways, so putting her a little bit closer to the fight is probably
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I agree. Nice. Oh, jeez. You guys are kind of screwed. There's really no position that you can take right now, so this is fine.
I see that we're losing the fight, and I try to pull our Ana.
It was wise. Yeah, there was nothing you could really do there. Your Reaper. No, what is he doing?
I know we've got somebody out of mech at least.
At least you got the D.Va mech.
Yeah.
Unnecessary. Tree is fine. Petal is good. Maybe a little close here, but obviously it denies the Mei wall, so that's good.
If I had pull here, I would save our Zarya.
I mean, that's the thing, is it's like you always got to assume that at some point you're going to want that pull when you didn't need it. I'm not saying save it for like the last worst possible, but make sure it actually makes sense when you use it.
Yeah.
Right.
It needs to have that intention to get the value.
Right. All right, let's see. You know, okay, could we go back a little bit? Just a little bit. Where should you be positioned here?
I could probably position up here at the top, but I think I'm worried about getting spammed.
Here's a question.
Here.
Could you just not pedal up right now?
Yeah, I can.
Something to consider. Because they're not in the Winston anymore, right? So you have enough distance between yourself and the D.Va to where I think you can be fine just pre-pedaling here, or just pedaling right now. Just something to consider.
I could pedal and get the echo pulled out.
Right.
Get out, but
Something to consider. Let's keep going.
I can get it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. Let's
go into touch, but
Yeah. I got you. Let's stop here. Let's write up some notes here. So let me go to your Discord channel here. Lifeweaver. Okay. What are some habits that you need to improve? What are some things that you need to either improve or you need to start doing that you're not already doing?
I think the biggest one is probably cooldown discipline. Making sure that my cooldowns are getting value and they're being used intentionally based on like what I know is happening or like what I'm predicting is coming from the enemy team.
Petal grip need to be used for. It's very nuanced, right? Like you look at that Genji situation on Blizzard World, you look at the fact that you were on Sombra Tracer Moira, right, on Esperanza. So there's everything is different given the situation, but that's up to you to spend the time between fights, before fights, to start thinking about what it needs to be used for once it actually happens, correct? All right?
Yeah.
What else? What else needs to be, what's another habit that you need to work on?
I think I should be a little bit more greedy with my pool. Was the big one. Was I'm not letting my like the DPS or the tank do more before I pull them out. It's supposed to be used so that they can be more aggressive, and then I pull them out. They get all that value. They get pulled down. So I'm not doing that. I'm pulling them too early.
Agreed. The tanks specifically, squishies. You know, if my tracer gets trapped, I'm pulling the tracer. She's dead otherwise. But if it's a diva or Ryan engaging, like let him go. Let him take some heat first. Okay. The spread M1 habit. Keep an eye on not just mashing at range. That's a very micro one, but it is something that's going to be relevant. But, I anticipate forever with Lifeweaver. So something to make sure that you can break that habit or improve that habit. And I think the final one was track one relevant defensive cooldown on your team to help with grip decisions.
Yeah, those all make sense. And like clearly in the VODs, those were not just issues with one or two. It was multiple times.
Right.
These are the things that come up.
Correct. What I would recommend is to work on one at a time, to prioritize whatever one seems more relevant at the point in time, or whatever one that you would like to work on for today or that game, or however you want to approach it. But just be patient with it. Work on one at a time. Give it conscious thought. Remember, when it comes to Lifeweaver, preparation is your reaction speed. That's what's going to help your reaction speed, is knowing what you're doing before you're doing it, and then having decisions being made for you before you even leave the spawn room, right?
Yeah.
That's going to help a lot. Okay, any questions?
No, nothing so far. Like we've gone over just about everything, like all the issues here.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you taking the mantle